Okay, prior to becoming a media specialist, what did you do?
I taught Spanish for 13 years.
What inspired you to become a media specialist?
For me, like when I was in the Spanish classroom, I only had one type of kid. So like in order to take Spanish, you had to be a college prep student. And so I didn't get to be around all types of students. So this gives me a chance to be around a lot more and impact a lot more kids.
Where did you receive your degree?
The Bachelor's of Spanish was ASU. It's now AU. Master's was at Southern Wesleyan. Specialist was back at AU, and then certification for Media Center was Georgia Southern.
That's good. When you were in the field getting ready for your media specialist, so when you did your practicum, was there anything that you didn't learn that you wish you would have learned to prepare you?
No, I mean, I felt like they taught me things that I already knew and were common sense. I wish they would have done more of the book side of things. Like we did so much technology, I felt like I had to learn the book portion on my own.
That's the same, I feel. Destiny, especially.
Yeah, like all
There's
that kind of
nothing.
stuff. I mean, even though we don't use it now,
Yeah.
but like Dewey Decimal and things like that, I felt unprepared that part.
Same. Are you in any professional organizations?
I have been. I'm not currently.
How do you determine the needs of your library, like when you're weeding and buying new books?
Well, we did a major weed when we no longer had to do the SACS review. So the SACS review used to be that you had to have a certain amount of copies per students in the building. So the previous people had, they kept books that were just awful because we had to have a copy count. So when that was gone, we used checkout things. So if it hadn't been touched in 3 to 4 years, we got rid of it. And we kind of do the same thing. Brandy, our amazing media clerk, sees if it hadn't been used in a while, then we get rid of it. And we also use students' book suggestions a lot. They let us know if we're missing something in a series or what's coming up. So,
how did you use technology in the classroom?
In the media center?
When you were in the classroom, like your background in technology before you came in here?
I did. Oh, it's been so long. I did foreign language with a lot of like us chatting, kind of like a Flipgrid type thing, where I would pose questions and they would have to respond and record themselves speaking and things like that.
Do you fill a role? Because I know you guys used to have an instructional tech specialist.
Yes.
Do you fill that role now?
We have an IS. I'm an instructional specialist. So she picks up some of that. Her role is more with not using apps in the class per se, but it's more like using the things that we have to, like Infinite Campus and stuff. So I kind of feel some of that role.
All right. As far as reading for pleasure, what genre do you like?
I have recently, she got me into some fantasy stuff, which is normally not my vibe. But I have been on a Frida McFadden kick, and I'm loving the thriller mystery right now.
I read a few of her books. What role do you see the library playing in the overall reading program of the school?
I wish we did more. We've become, when we switched to like the Learning Commons model, I felt like we became the hub of the school, which is awesome. But I think we have to do so much more that literacy and reading, sadly, is not up front like it should be.
How would you encourage struggling readers?
Give them anything to read. And I know, did you do that? Sorry, we have students currently. I know some people don't like things like graphic novels or manga or things like that, but I just, anything, like put anything in their hands to read. And so we have really been pushing Libby and Hoopla with our kids for audiobooks. So just if they can have any type of reading, we'll give it to them.
Playing even. What are some of the ways that you can promote professional, like reading for professional development with your faculty?
Well, that just sounds boring. Reading for professional development. I don't know. That's not something that we do. We should. Now we, as media specialists at the high school level, we have shared different books with each other. So we have done stuff together, but not as far as in this building.
Yeah, when I was reading through these, thinking about me as a media specialist, the only thing I could think is like maybe providing articles or that one was hard.
And yeah, that's hard.
Because like you said, it doesn't sound super fun for them to do,
and for me busy. To do like, hey, math teacher, maybe that's something I need to look into. Yeah.
Do you have to lead any professional development at school?
I don't have to, but I do. Even if it's just like how to use Canva or just any tool that I think is good for teachers. Yeah. We do.
Technology tools. Yeah. How do you continue your professional growth?
Good morning. This is going to sound stupid, but I will, like, even if it's follow another librarian on TikTok, if I can expand a network of people to listen to and learn from, and books that I can read, Facebook groups that I can join, I think those, it's like little tidbits of information that I can pick up here and there. That helps.
What steps could you take to get your teachers in the library more?
I wish they would collaborate more with me. I think what they see with me in the library is, hey, I'm going to drop my classes off. Will you teach them? Like today, I've got them doing trusted resources. It's not a collaboration. She wants to drop them off. I wish I could find a way for them to say, let's do this together instead of it just be signing my kids up.
Yeah, I think this question's a little outdated because with COVID, it's kind of been like we've moved on from it.
Yeah.
But do you think it impacted your day-to-day operations when it did hit?
It did, but in ways of like, I became like the tech support while the kids were at home with their laptops, or when we were back, I felt like I was more of a custodian. Those can be returned? Okay. I felt like I was more of a custodian because I've spent so much time just wiping everything down. I mean, I was like, that was our number one goal, was to clean everything, clean laptops. We even had to do with the books. Like when a kid returned a book, it had to sit out for like 10 days before it could be touched again. So it shifted to a lot more custodial work, I felt.
What are ways that you generate funding? Like when your funding's getting low, because you guys don't do book fairs at this level, right?
We actually did our first book fair this year, but it wasn't a book fair. It was we did a throwback Thursday, and we did like all the fun stuff that the kids like to buy at the book fairs, like the pencils and the erasers and the posters, and the kids went nuts and bought tons and tons and tons of stuff. But as far as funding, we asked for donations from some of our business partners. We used to have a coffee shop in here, but it kind of took up too much of our time. It's just little things like that.
Are you seen more as a teacher, admin, or like an IS kind of role? Are there ones you wouldn't say you were? Like I know at my school, there's no way I'm more of an admin role. I don't want that role.
Brandy, what would you? Oh, she left. Sadly, I think I'm more of an admin role. I think I answer more questions. I answer more questions than anybody in the building. I joke around and say I'm the lowest paid admin and the highest paid secretary. So,
what do you think your expectations of your admin are regarding like the Learning Commons? What are some things they want to see in here?
They want to see me teaching, which they do. I wish they were more visible in here, though. I feel like we're the last to get evaluated and last to. But sometimes that happens because we function on our own. We don't need help. So then we kind of get forgotten.
Yeah, that happens to us, too.
Yeah.
I know you have your clerk. What are your expectations of your clerk?
Because she's so amazing with the book part, I have become more the technology person. Yeah. So when the kids come to me with like Google and stuff, that's me. They want to know what to read, they go to her. Yep. And she's really great with the textbook stuff too.
Same. All right, last question. What advice would you give someone that's just starting as a media specialist?
Learn to say no. And I still haven't learned how to do that because like right now I'm so overwhelmed with other stuff the things I want to do are lacking, like getting literacy and getting the kids into stuff. But that's like set your boundaries and say these are my priorities, and if I have time, I'll do the other stuff. And that's hard to do when you're new too, to set boundaries. So,